Breaking news, an outbreak of tornadoes in the northwest suburbs. At least one person dead, and several communities have lost homes and businesses. Good evening. I'm Natalie Bomke in tonight for Dawn Hasbro.
And I'm Jeff Herndon. There is widespread devastation tonight in towns all throughout north and north central Illinois. We want to show you some video now of the confirmed tornado in Rochelle earlier tonight. The city is nearly 70 miles northwest of Chicago. Several people are reporting damage to homes and buildings throughout the area.
This is a restaurant called Grub Stakers. The roof collapsed. There were initial reports of 12 people with injuries. We also have preliminary reports of overturned semi-trucks on I-39, as many as 5 trucks. But again, these are unconfirmed reports. We begin our team coverage tonight with Chief Meteorologist Bill Bellis.
Yeah, guys, it's been a long day here in the Fox 32 Weather Center, and these storms originating in DeWitt, Iowa, and these miraculously held together as massive supercells. Tornado warnings, they've all expired. I don't want to say we're in the clear yet. We're still under a watch until 11, but those yellow flashes there for McHenry County that just expired. So we have one severe thunderstorm warning for the southwest suburb there. And we're going to do a little tracking here for you. If you're watching near Sand Ridge, Manuka, and you're looking at the southwest suburbs there, those are your ETAs. Main threat with that storm. Again, this is across Grundy, Kendall, and Will counties. Main threat here, winds up to 70 miles an hour. So you need to get away from the storm, get into the most interior sections of your home, could cause these damaging winds, again, up to 70 miles an hour. And not to mention, if you look at the bottom right-hand corner here, there's a 100% chance of at least hail sizes of 1 inch or greater. That is enough to do a lot of damage to your car. Okay, so let's take a look real quick here at how these storms originated. We're going to switch gears and take a look at live power Doppler radar. Look at the 3D imagery here. Wow, massive cloud tops that at one point were spiking out at up to 55,000 feet, and that's looking from the lake back out near places like Rochelle and Fairdale. I want to show some of the pictures that came in here. This is from James Monroe. You're talking about a massive wedge tornado. Mark Strell is in the Weather Center with me. Mark, we've been busy, and you're from this area, so what's the latest? Number one, is your family okay?
Yeah, my family's okay. I've got pictures of a tornado outside of my backyard. Fortunately, it was more than a mile or two away from the house. But I've been on the phone with my sources there that are on the ground there in Fairdale. They confirmed tonight, as we've reported already, that one person is dead, but that several are still unaccounted for. They tell me that also technical rescue crews are now on scene, and we're talking about multiple agencies on scene taking part in that rescue here this evening. And just talked to another source just a few minutes ago that says they're setting up lights for that scene. That this is going to continue. What you were looking right there, that's the town of Fairdale. Yeah. It's on Route 72, which does come into the city of Chicago, a route that we're familiar with here. It's right on the DeKalb County line, and that rescue is going to continue all night long, they tell me. Yeah, and I mean, you could tell right there from the looks of when you see trees stripped like that, and I mean things just flatten, you're probably looking at least an EF3, Mark, wouldn't you agree? Absolutely. The latest I've heard also is that nearby farmers are bringing in pieces of equipment, backhoes to help in that rescue. So it's just a community effort, all hands on deck there this evening. Yeah, and I want to go back and kind of show you how this evolved here. We look at, just keep an eye, this is how it all began. There's the first hook echo just south of Rockford. That was the first confirmed. Look at, there it is. There's the one that came in around Belvedere, and eventually I went up towards Belvedere, but the bottom right-hand corner, it began as a severe thunderstorm warning, but take a look. There's your hook. It wraps around. There's the hail core, and eventually you're going to see, well, there's your tornado, debris ball. You see the shear markers there, and this is about the time, Mark, that, we were on the air for, for several hours here, and these storms continued. Multiple vortices, too. We saw some of the pictures there as these raced off to the north and east at about 40 miles an hour. So once again, we are tracking that severe thunderstorm warning for the southwest suburbs. We'll loop the radar here real quick, and you can see how fast everything has moved. And if you're watching at home, all the tornado warnings have expired, but we are still under a tornado watch. So we're not completely out of the woods just yet. So there's the area in red, tornado watch, northwest Indiana now, a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. So again, Mark, we talked about this all day. The Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma, they put us in that 10% chance of an EF2 or greater tornado, and it happened.
I mean, these are the times, and the thing is,
yeah.
Maybe the good news here is that, you know, we've been talking about this all week, even Monday of this week, that we knew this could be potentially a dangerous day, and it certainly turned out to be that way.
Yeah, we've had heads up on this, but nonetheless, this storm system, again, you see those multiple tornadoes breaking out along that front. The dynamics were just correct. All of the ingredients did come together. Fortunately, here in the city, you know, things have been a little more stable.
Yeah.
But in the out exoburbs, so to say, north central Illinois, around Rockford, parts of DeKalb County, those are the areas that are particularly hard hit here this evening.
And we're looking at a couple more pictures again. This is a massive wedge tornado, probably an EF3 based on the damage. Something tweeted out to the National Weather Service there. Also, that's the train yard. Probably some of those hopefully weren't flipped, but I mean, just a massive, just frightening sight. And, you know, all day long we've been talking about this, that we weren't out of the woods yet. And if we go back to the radar here real quickly, one thing that, you know, we talked about earlier here, Mark, you and I, you know, the far northwest suburbs, it was generally this area that did not get a whole lot of rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. We here in the metro, we got another round at about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So maybe, at least at this point, that could be our saving grace. We still have the severe thunderstorm that's capable of producing damaging wind down here coming up out of the southwest. So we'll continue to watch that as it races across Will County and eventually to the south side of Chicago. So let's go back to Natalie and Jeff. And guys, it's been a long day here. And as Mark said, at least one person has been killed, and hopefully that number stands. But a lot of people, as you said off the top of the show, still unaccounted for.
All right, Mark and Bill, we'll get back to you in just a few moments. It showed you some of the pictures there, several images and tornado videos flooding our social media sites tonight. You can see all of them on our Fox 32 Facebook page. We want to show you this video here shot by one of our Facebook friends, a giant tornado that's just west of Kirkland, Illinois. That is near Hampshire, Illinois in McHenry County, just one of many tornadoes sweeping across our state tonight. And of course, as we've mentioned, there is a confirmed fatality in the nearby town of Fairdale, about 20 miles southeast of Rockford. We have a live crew there, and we will have an update for you later on in this newscast.
Let's take a look at the big picture now. Joining us on the phone is Gino Izzi with the National Weather Service. Gino, thanks for joining us tonight. We know this has been a busy one for you.
Yes, it definitely has.
Let's talk about damage, not just in our viewing area, but where has the worst been in the state?
I'm sorry?
Where has the worst tornado damage been throughout the state of Illinois?
You know, we've got confirmed reports of tornadoes beginning in portions of Lee County, and then we've got reports of tornadoes continuous in the northeast track through 50 miles into southwestern McHenry County. We're going to go out tomorrow and do damage surveys to assess how intense the damage was and how strong the tornado was, and also determine whether it was one continuous track or more likely several different tracks of several tornadoes that touched down, essentially a series of tornadoes from the same storm.
And you talk about some of the heaviest damage. Where are you getting those reports tonight, specific areas? We've heard about Rochelle being hit very hard, the little town of Fairdale as well.
Yeah, those are the two areas that we've heard about so far, but we've gotten a lot of reports of damage from across the region, so the report's going to continue to roll in. A lot of it's kind of hectic, and our first responders are responding to people still missing, and as you mentioned, there were people are still looking for. So we're not bothering them to get information at this point. We're going to touch base with emergency managers first thing in the morning before we head out for surveying.
Is this what the National Weather Service anticipated, Gino, or is this a little bit more than they were expecting?
You know, this is a situation we've been talking about for several days now, the potential of a significant severe weather outbreak. We held conference calls with emergency managers and media the last couple of days and sending out information about it. So we knew the potential was there for something big to happen. I don't know if anyone could have predicted for sure that something as major as this could have happened, but the ingredients have definitely come in together for days, and we've been talking about the potential for a significant outbreak.
Hey, Gino, this is meteorologist Bill Bellis. How you doing today? I know you've been just as busy as I have. And a couple of days ago, I sent you a direct message via Twitter, and those were your words. You know, this is kind of up for grabs, but you said this could potentially be huge, and the concern, at least in terms of maybe this not happening, was, you know, overnight convection like we saw last night, and then showers and storms this morning. We had another round, and it just didn't quite, you know, stabilize the atmosphere. At least it has for the metro right now. But you know, those areas that did not get a whole lot of rain, it seemed like, you know, that storm system that came through really ignited the atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the western portions of the state towards Rockford and Rochelle, the thunderstorms ended a little bit earlier there, the atmosphere was able to recover, temperatures warm up, and there were even spots that got close to 80 in northwest Illinois today. So that really was just a powder keg in the atmosphere ready to explode, and that's exactly what happened.
All right, meteorologist Gino Izzi from the National Weather Service. And Gino, to you and all your meteorologists, you guys did a wonderful job in preparing, us and for us to prepare the, the public, and hopefully this starts to wind down.
Well, thank you very much, Bill.
All right, we're going to get back here real quick. I want to go over some of the warnings that are still out there. Tornado warnings have expired. So let's go to live power Doppler radar right now. And you can see the red box now is shrinking from left to right. So the tornado watch has expired for Boone and Winnebago and DeKalb and Ogle and Lee counties. Those areas hit the hardest. We are still, I'll toggle these off here, dealing with a severe thunderstorm warning, and that is down near Joliet and Lockport. We're going to quickly track this here for you. And let's get a quick check on exactly where the storm is heading. And there you see it, bottom right-hand corner there. You'll see the estimated time of arrivals for Rockdale, Preston Heights, Joliet at 9:14. Again, this warning will expire at 9:15 for Will County, but has now been extended to 9:30 for southern Cook County. The main threat here will be damaging winds in excess of 70 miles an hour, and certainly the possibility of some hail in excess of 1 inch in diameter. Mark, you and I have been at this all day long here tracking these storms, and what Gino Izzi was talking about was this was the area that ended up getting some showers and thunderstorms and heavy rain between 1:30 and 3 o'clock, and that might have been enough, at least at this point, to keep things fairly quiet.
Yeah, it almost sounds counterintuitive at first that if you get rain in an area, it's almost like letting a little bit of air out of the tires. You're taking some of the energy, you're letting the pot not quite boil over as much. It's those areas that didn't have the showers and thunderstorms earlier in the afternoon that became more explosive, and that's where we saw the deadly, very dangerous storms that we were tracking all evening.
And what we're looking at right now is what we call a storm threat, and this is that severe thunderstorm that's now parked itself just southwest of you in Joliet and Lockport. And right there, check it out. Now hail could get up to about 2 inches in diameter as the storm races to the northeast at about 45 miles an hour. There's still potential for some damaging wind on the back end. That's in southern Grundy County. Again, still could look at anything about 1 inch or more, Mark. Would you agree? That's the size of a quarter or greater. You're talking damage to your vehicle.
Damage to your vehicle, damage to your roof, damage to items left outside. Just a lot of damage associated with these large hail threats.
Yeah, and this storm up here has weakened. That's why the warning in McHenry and Lake County have expired. But still could see some, rainfall rates of a couple of inches an hour. Still some gusty winds up there, but not nearly as large hailstones. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that this is it. Once again, the tornado watches have expired for the western half of the viewing area, and you can see that right there for Ogle and Boone and Winnebago counties, also DeKalb, and as you get down into LaSalle County. So let's bring it back to Jeff and Natalie, and we'll continue to kind of gather more information and pass it on to you as we go through. But at least at this point here, not an exact forecast, but it looks like the tornado threat for the rest of the area is diminishing. But of course, things can happen and change pretty quickly, so we'll be on top of it.
Right, we've got those watches and warnings that are winding down. Now we have power outages. I've got someone on Twitter reporting Calumet City and Lansing without power tonight.
Yeah, damage reports are going to continue to come in all through the night and through the morning. We'll, of course, continue to cover that.
We're going to continue covering this devastating tornado outbreak in the northwest suburbs for you.
Deadly tornadoes causing widespread damage. Of course, we will have some live updates for you later on in this newscast as well.
Plus, Bill and Mark tracking the storms where they are headed next.